There are certain roads people avoid after midnight, not because they are dangerous, not because of accidents, but because of the stories connected to them. Stories whispered by truck drivers, locals, and people who swear they saw something that should not exist. Tonight's story is about two brothers, a lonely mountain highway, and a terrifying encounter that changed their lives forever. And according to everyone involved, this story is completely true. It happened nearly 15 years ago, long before social media and viral ghost videos, back when people kept these experiences secret out of fear of being called insane. The two brothers were heading toward a private party in a mountain town several hours away from the city. The younger brother was around 15 years old. The older one was barely 18. They could have taken the family car, but for some reason, they chose to travel by motorcycle that night. At first, the journey felt normal. The city streets were crowded and alive. Traffic lights flashed, restaurants remained open, people filled the sidewalks. But after nearly 30 minutes of riding, everything changed. The city slowly disappeared behind them. Streetlights became rare, buildings vanished, and soon they found themselves riding through a long, isolated highway surrounded by darkness and forest. The road ahead stretched endlessly. No cars, no people. Only cold wind and silence. The younger brother later admitted that the atmosphere itself felt wrong, heavy, unnatural, as though the road did not want them there. Then it happened, as they rode past a bend in the highway. The younger brother noticed something standing near the side of the road, a tall, white figure. At first he assumed it was just a signpost covered in cloth, but something about it felt disturbing. They passed the figure within seconds, and he quickly forgot about it, until 5 minutes later. He saw it again, the exact same figure, standing silently beside the road. This time he stared longer. The shape looked human, possibly a woman wearing a long white dress. A strange chill ran through his body. He tapped his older brother on the shoulder. "Did you see that?" No response. The older brother continued driving silently. The bike accelerated slightly. The younger brother tried to ignore it. Maybe there were multiple objects on the road that looked similar. Maybe his imagination was playing tricks on him. But then, he saw it a third time, standing ahead of them once again, completely motionless, as if waiting. Fear slowly turned into panic. "How is this possible?" he asked nervously. Still no reply, only silence, and the sound of the motorcycle engine growing louder. Then came the fourth sighting. This time the figure stood much closer to the road, close enough to clearly recognize the outline of a woman. The younger brother grabbed his brother tightly. "Tell me you can see her too." For several seconds, the older brother said nothing. Then finally, in a trembling voice, he replied, "Whatever happens, do not look at her again." The younger brother instantly felt terror, because that answer confirmed everything. His older brother had been seeing her the entire time. He buried his face against his brother's back, trying desperately not to cry. The motorcycle sped faster through the darkness. But fear creates curiosity, and curiosity can destroy people. After several minutes, the younger brother slowly lifted his head. He looked to the side of the road, and what he saw nearly stopped his heart. The woman was no longer standing still. She was moving beside them, keeping pace with the motorcycle effortlessly. The bike was traveling close to 100 kilometers per hour, yet somehow she floated beside them with unnatural ease. Her long white dress moved violently in the wind. Her hair covered most of her face, but her body looked wrong, stiff, almost lifeless. Then the younger brother noticed her legs and immediately screamed. Her feet faced backwards, completely reversed, not human, not natural. The older brother accelerated instantly. The motorcycle engine screamed under pressure as they raced through the empty highway. Neither of them dared to look back again. For nearly an hour they continued speeding through darkness without stopping once. Eventually the motorcycle began overheating. The engine could no longer handle the pressure. They had no choice but to stop. Far ahead they spotted a tiny roadside tea stall, illuminated by a single yellow bulb. Everything else around it remained swallowed by darkness. The brothers parked the bike and stepped off. Both were trembling violently. The tea seller looked at them with concern. "You boys okay?" he asked. Then his expression suddenly changed. His face turned pale. "What happened to you?" The brothers stared at him in confusion. The tea seller slowly pointed toward their clothes. Dark red stains covered both of them, their jackets, their hands, even parts of their faces. At first they thought it was mud, but under the yellow light, it looked horrifyingly similar to blood. Fresh blood. The younger brother immediately searched his body for injuries. There were none. No wounds, no cuts, nothing that explained where the blood came from. Then suddenly, the nearby bushes began shaking violently. Not from wind, not from an animal. One specific section moved aggressively, while everything around it remained perfectly still. The sound grew louder, branches cracking, leaves rustling violently, as though something large was hiding inside, watching them, waiting. The tea seller quietly stepped backward. The younger brother whispered only one sentence, "Let's get out of here." Neither of them finished their tea. They paid quickly, jumped back onto the motorcycle, and drove away immediately. This time neither brother spoke a single word for the rest of the journey. Nearly an hour later they finally reached the mountain villa where the party was taking place. Music echoed from inside the house. People laughed. Lights glowed warmly from the windows. For a brief moment, everything felt normal again. But the moment the front door opened, the atmosphere changed instantly. Every friend standing inside froze in horror. The brothers looked like they had survived a massacre. Dark red liquid covered them from head to toe. Some believed it was paint. Others thought they had crashed somewhere along the road. Their friends rushed them outside to the lawn and sprayed them with water using a garden hose. As the liquid washed away, a metallic smell filled the air, the smell of blood. The brothers finally told everyone what had happened on the highway. Most of the group laughed nervously. Some refused to believe the story until the villa caretaker arrived, an elderly man who had spent his entire life living near those mountains. The moment he heard the details, his face became serious. He looked directly at the older brother. "Do you feel heavier?" he asked quietly. The older brother nodded immediately. His body felt exhausted, weak, as though something heavy had been pressing down on him for hours. The caretaker slowly pointed toward an old weighing scale inside the house. "Check your weight." Everyone gathered around silently. The older brother stepped onto the scale. The number appeared, and the entire room fell silent. He weighed nearly 15 kilograms more than normal. Impossible. The younger brother checked his weight, too. Completely normal. The caretaker stepped back nervously. Then he whispered something that none of them would ever forget. In these mountains, some spirits travel by attaching themselves to people. They ride on their shoulders. The room became ice cold. Nobody laughed anymore. Nobody spoke. Because deep down, every single person there knew something terrible had followed the brothers from that highway. And according to the younger brother, after that night, strange things began happening around them more often. Unexplained sounds, shadow figures, nightmares, and the terrifying feeling of being watched, as though whatever they encountered on that road never truly left them. So if you ever find yourself driving through an empty highway late at night, and you notice the same figure appearing again and again beside the road, do not stare too long. Do not stop. And whatever you do, never look directly at its feet.